Management of business. Information systems. What is information? Definition. The information. Creating process. The characteristics of information. 1. Introduction. We are living in the information age where information is everywhere. No organization can function without information. It is one of the key elements in the support of any business process and forms the basis of an organization's future planning and decisions. Information systems, IS, are used to process financial accounts, to manage human resource and to reach their potential customers with online promoters. From the 2 previous study units we have established that no organization can function without information. Thus, understanding the impact of information and effectiveness of IS on an organization is crucial in running a successful business. Such an understanding helps managers to ensure that their organization stays on track in a continuously changing environment. The most obvious reason for processing data is to reduce uncertainty, and therefore most organizations value information as a strategic asset. Boys, N.J. et al. 2017. In this study unit, we look at information, the characteristics of information as well as the uses and users of information. 2. What is information? Information is derived from data or raw facts that represent real-world elements. To understand information, it is important to first look at the term data. Data is the raw material available for processing information. Data consists of numbers, letters, symbols, raw facts, events, and transactions, which have been recorded but not yet processed into a form that is suitable for making decisions. 2.1 Types of data. According to ACC-ACAC_BT, 2021:77, there are several types of data that an organization may gather. Quantitative data is that which is capable of being measured numerically, e.g. the standard labor hours required to produce 1 unit of output. Qualitative data is not capable of being measured numerically but may reflect distinguishing characteristics, e.g. the grade of labor used to produce the unit of output. Data is said to be discrete when it can only take on specific fixed values, e.g. the actual number of vehicles through a car wash per day could be 35 but not 35.3. Continuous data takes on any numerical value, and we could, in an 8-hour day, measure the throughput of cars as 4.375 per hour, i.e. 35 cars/8 hours. Primary data is collected for a particular inquiry. For example, by observation, employees would be observed performing a value-adding activity when establishing a standard time for the activity. Therefore, information is a set of facts or data organized and processed in such a way that it provides additional value beyond that of the facts themselves. In other words, information is data that has been processed in such a way as to be meaningful to the person who receives it. This information provides knowledge that leads the user to make decisions. 2.2 Information required for modern business. IS produces information to satisfy the needs of both the management and operating subsystems, as well as the needs of parties external to the organization. This information reflects internal actions, environmental and sociological interests, as well as political and financial trends. It must represent what has happened, what is happening, and most importantly, what will happen. In a business environment, the creation of information for decision-making can be illustrated as follows. Activity. Data. Information. Knowledge. Decision-making. Figure 3.1 of the creation of information. Figure 3.2, the creation of information, example. 2.3 The characteristics of information. According to ACC-ACAC_BT, 2021:79-80, when using information for decision-making purposes, it should comply with the characteristics described in the table below. Characteristics. Explanation. Accurate. Information should be sufficiently accurate for its intended purpose, and the decision-maker should be able to rely on the information. Complete. The more complete information is, the more reliable it will be. Cost. The information should not cost more to obtain than the benefit derived from it. Understandable. User-friendly information is much more readily acted upon. Relevance. The information provided should concentrate on the essentials and ignore trivia. Adaptable. Information should be tailored to the needs and level of understanding of its intended recipients. Reliability. Information is reliable if one can depend on it. Reliability depends on the source of information. A rumor is not reliable. Timely. Information should be delivered when it is needed. Information that is out of date is a waste of time, effort, and money. Easy to use. Information should be clearly presented and sent using the right medium and communication channel. Information should not be overly complex and should be supplied in the required format. Too much information or information in the wrong format leads to difficulty in determining what is important. 3. The uses and users of information. The users of information can be both internal and external users. These users of information, both internal and external, first need to be identified before decisions on information needs can be made. Such users need information in order to perform a specific task or make specific decisions. Internal users may need information for future planning and forecasting, for measuring performance, or for control in the organization or about specific processes. External users, such as investors or financiers, may need information on the performance of the organization for possible future investment, while clients may need information on products and services. According to ACC ACAC_BT, 2021:77, information is vital to an organization and is required both internally and externally. Requires information to provide records, both current and historical. To analyze what is happening in the business. To provide the basis for decision-making in the short and long term. To monitor the performance of the business by comparing actual results with plans and forecasts. This can be illustrated as follows. Figure 3.3, the user of information. 3.1 Internal users. Internal users use information to assist them in performing their daily tasks. This information can be from an internal or an external source. Internal users and the information needed by them are the following. Financial managers. Managers need information on the financial performance of the organization to make decisions on cash flow and financing. Hence, management financial statements are an internal source of information. Financial managers also need external information on possible sources of finance to make financing decisions. Production managers, internal information on sales quantities and sales forecasting is needed to control and plan the production process. Production managers use external information on new technology and production processes to improve the performance of the department. Staff managers use internal information on qualifications needed and salary levels. External information on employees and their qualifications should also be available to place employees in appropriate jobs. Marketing managers, internal information needed relates to products, target markets and prices to make decisions on possible promotions and advertising methods. Sales managers, internal information is needed on production costs and all overhead costs to make decisions on sales prices. External information on clients and their spending patterns is used to approach the clients and determine opening times for retail outlets. Purchase manager, internal information is necessary on the quantity of the various products or raw material needed by the production department. The purchase manager also needs external information on suppliers and prices to make informed decisions on the best quality and prices. 3.2 External users. Users outside the organization may also need information from internal and external sources for various reasons. Financial statements form one of the most important sources of information in this regard. According to ACC-ACAC_BT, 2021:78, information will be used by various third parties, including the shareholders or owners, who will want to know how their investment is performing. Customers and suppliers, who will want to know how stable the business is and therefore whether it will be a reliable trading partner. Government agencies, the most important need for information by the government is for use by the South African Revenue Services, SARS. SARS needs internal financial information to determine the tax liability of the organizations. For structure of organization IS. Information systems consist of 3 layers as follows. Operational support, which forms the base of an IS and contains various transaction processing systems for designing, marketing, producing, and delivering products and services. Support of knowledge work forms the middle layer and contains subsystems for sharing information within an organization. Management support contains subsystems for managing and evaluating an organization's resources and goals. 5. Business Information System. A business information system obtains data and other resources of IT infrastructure as input from environment and process them to satisfy the information needs of different entities associated with business enterprise. While individuals use business productivity software such as word processing, spreadsheets, and graphics programs to accomplish a variety of tasks, the job of managing a company's information needs fall to management system users, hardware, and software that support decision-making. IS collects and stores the company's key data and produces the information managers need for analysis, control, and decision-making. For example, factories use computer-based IS to automate production processes and order and monitor inventory. Most companies use them to process customer orders and handle billing and vendor/supplier payments. Banks use a variety of IS to process transactions such as deposits, ATM withdrawals, and loan payments. Most consumers' transactions also involve IS when checking out at supermarket, booking a hotel room online, or downloading music over the internet. IS record and track the transaction and transmit the date to the necessary places. While MIS can be used by any and every level of management, the decision of which system to implement generally falls upon the Chief Information Officer, CIO, and Chief Technology Officer, CTO. These officers are generally responsible for the overall technology strategy of an organization, including evaluating how well technology can help their organization. They act as decision-makers in the implementation process of new MIS. This means that once decisions have been made, the IT director, including MIS director, oversee the technical implementation of the system. They are also in charge of implementing policies affecting MIS. These are either new specific policies passed down by the CIO and CTO or policies that align the new systems with the overall IT policy. It is also their role to ensure the availability of data and network services as well as security of the data involved by coordinating IT activities. On implementation, the assigned users will have appropriate access to relevant information. Notwithstanding, not everyone is inputting data into MIS necessarily needs to be at management level, and it is common practice that inputs to MIS are done by non-managerial employees. However, they rarely have access to the reports and decision-making support platforms offered by these systems. 6. Management Information System, MIS. MIS provides information which is needed to manage organizations efficiently and effectively. Management Information System, MIS, collects data from different company units and functions. Some data, however, is collected on its own through connected computer counters and remailing data entered into the system periodically. Reports are generated at intervals and can also be obtained on demand using built-in query language. The role of MIS is described and analyzed considering its capability for decision-making. The decision-making process and its impact on top-level management in a business organization is explained with an emphasis on automated decision-making. MIS is concerned with processing data into information which is then communicated to various departments in an organization for appropriate decision-making. MIS are distinct from other information systems as they are used to analyze operational activities in the organization. Organizations still need different types of MIS serving various organizational levels, functions, and business processes. 7 Objectives of MIS. To provide an overview of the information requirements of an organization. To analyze the role of management and its dependency on information. To discuss the role of information in the decision-making process. To identify the need for information in the day-to-day operations of the organization. 8 Advantages of using MIS. The following are some of the benefits that can be attained using MIS. Improve an organization's operating efficiency, add value to existing products, engender innovation and new product development, and help managers make better decisions. Companies can identify their strengths and weaknesses due to the presence of revenue reports, employee performance records, amongst others. Identifying these aspects can help a company improve its business processes and operations. Giving an overall picture of the company. Acting as a communication and planning tool. The availability of customer data and feedback can help the company to align its business processes according to the needs of its customers. The effective management of customer data can help the company to perform direct marketing and promotion activities. IS can help a company gain a competitive advantage. MIS reports can help with decision-making as well as reduce downtime for actionable items. 9 Disadvantages of using MIS. These are some of the disadvantages. Retrieval and dissemination are dependent on technology hardware and software. Potential for inaccurate information. Activity 3.1. Go to your eTutor site and complete this activity. 25 employees from the finance department of a large organization took an introductory course in computing. The test at the end of the course resulted in the marks shown below. The marks were out of 50 and the pass mark was 20 out of 50. 12. 19. 8. 21. At the moment, this data is simply not useful. To give it meaning, you are required to process it and turn it into information. Application SPCE. SPCE is a manufacturing organization that manufactures specialist portable communication equipment. In recent years, the development of new technology such as wireless mobile telephones, infrared thermal imaging and global positioning has allowed competitors to create new products. The market for such equipment has, at the same time, grown significantly in the private and public sectors. Accordingly, SPCE recognized that its market share is decreasing and that it does not know as much about its competitors and the needs of its clients as it should. Required. As the management accountant of SPCE, you are required to advise the board on what internal and external information it needs in order to solve the problem that SPCE is facing. Go to the discussion forum for Study Unit 3 and discuss this with your fellow students. 10 Summary. Information is a key resource within the organization and forms the basis of decisions made by internal users such as management and external users such as customers and suppliers. It is essential to keep the characteristics of information in mind when collecting information and to ensure that the information obtained is useful.